Welcome back to CBR MTG. We've got another lot of matches for you this week. With me, I've got Lachlan Saunders and Nick Fennell.
Hi.
Hi, guys. So tonight we've got, starting us off is Bug Landstill and Lands, Brandon Owen and Michael Klose. So before we get the match started properly, I just want to do a couple of quick shout-outs. First of all, I'm going to shout out Collected Companies. These are the guys that printed our CBR MTG playmats you see on Brandon Owen's side. Awesome service. They're a Sydney-based company, very local. Just support the Australian Magic community in that sense. Quick service, quick turnaround. Ordered on a Wednesday, got them delivered by Friday or the Monday, which is awesome. The week past, we just had CanCon, which is the annual Canberra-based tabletop and card games convention. So on the Saturday, we had Legacy, which 54 players were in attendance.
It's a lot of players.
Yeah, it was an insane turnout. I don't think anybody expected such a huge turnout for Legacy.
Yeah, I think we really amped it up with the Melbourne crew and like Sydney as well.
It was the second biggest event over the entire weekend after Highland and Nats.
Yeah. So really, really stoked that we were able to get that out of the way. Miracles took it out. I'll have a link in the description to reports, tournament reports and deck lists. This Magic event you see on the screen here, that night we had 22 players in attendance, which is the best player attendance we've had so far, and I have no idea how we had that many people.
It's because everyone loves Legacy, that's why.
Yeah, no, true. I mean, it's a great format, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so let's get into this game. I believe Michael was on the play.
We'll find out in a second.
I think so. I think he called evens. Yeah, there we go.
Starting things off with a Molten Vortex here. This is an excellent start from Michael here. It means that Brandon kind of can't play Standstill because if he does,
there you go.
Michael can just blow up that Precious Mistress Factory. You see Brendan valuing it pretty highly and just pitching a standstill to force a wall.
Brendan values his standstills.
Yeah, future standstills potentially. I think standstill is kind of not in its best in a lands matchup because obviously Michael's just playing Wasteland, so he can just wait and find a Wasteland and just waste that factory out of there. Yeah,
lands generally doesn't play spells too often.
Yeah.
If it's,
well,
they can wait to cast their spells.
The only spell it really cares about is Life and Loam and Punishing Fire. They're the two relevant spells, and also Wasteland not very high impact in this match either because once Michael has a green source in play, of which he has two at the moment, he's able to just keep getting things back with Life and Loam, and it's very, very difficult for Brandon to shut Michael off of just that recurring engine he has with Life and Loam. You see him fetching a basic forest as a nod to the Wasteland in play. He's like, no, I could get a Tega and you could Wasteland me, but I'm just not interested. Like, as long as I keep this basic forest in play, we should be pretty cool.
And the Mox Dominant as well, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Death Ray goes to the bin.
Yeah, you see Brandon losing his only coloured source here. It's not good.
No.
Not good. And now Michael has a the Punish Fire engine going. I don't think Brandon's going to be able to kind of climb out of this hole. His Death Rights are going to die, so he's lost all mana acceleration, and Michael's just kind of just hanging out, getting more and more mana. He's just gonna sit here until he finds a Life and Loam and then tutors up the Dark Depths combo.
Yeah, I think Michael has plenty of time.
Yeah,
to just wait around to see that. Like
Brandon's sitting on one land and like
it's non-colored.
Yeah, and Michael just like the rest of his game plan is basically uncounterable. So any force of wills that might be lurking in Brandon's hand are just kind of irrelevant because he's either going to be casting Life and Loam or he's going to be just playing lands from his hand. And it's very difficult for Brandon to interact. He is choosing here to wasteland the Grove, which is a bit risky because Michael has a Thespian stage in play, so he definitely could have staged up a grove in response and made that wasteland kind of moot.
Yeah.
Here we see Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, ghost quartering the factory is pretty weird here. It does give Brandon access to coloured mana when he previously didn't, and Michael did have a punishing fire in hand, which would take care of that factory. If Brandon even chose to attack with it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Apologies for the glare on the
we've got
Brandon's side.
Swamp and Island.
But Swamp and Island, yeah.
So he will be able to deploy Standstill if he feels like that's where he wants to be. But
I don't think it's where he wants to be.
Not really sure if that's where he wants to be. And now that this deck is playing 3 colors, the fact is on like blue-black lands is a little bit more awkward.
Yeah.
What he really wants to do here is just find a Leovold and put it in play.
I think he has a Leovold in hand.
Oh yeah, I see that. All he needs is to draw a green source. I don't know if there's a forest in the deck. I would strongly doubt there would be a forest. But is that a Crucible of Worlds in hand? Oh man, if you can get that down, that's very, very strong against the lands deck. Just being able to
Wasteland.
Yeah, just nullify your opponent's Wasteland.
It's true.
Ooh, getting a gamble, potentially Force a World here if Brandon can find one. Yeah, I do see a fetch land he's drawn there.
Useful to fetch up that green.
Yeah, definitely. Useful to shuffle away maybe a dead card. The unfortunate thing about kind of your opponent's turn Brainstorm with no fetch in play is that you're going to draw one of those cards you put back, and that's not ideal. The also unfortunate thing here for Brandon is that it's irrelevant, like, what happens to this gamble. Gamble just gets life alone. It either comes to your hand, which is gas, or it goes to the bin, which is what's happening now, which is also gas.
Yeah, and it just gets dredged back to your hand. That's pretty.
It's pretty rough.
Pretty rough having 2 cards in hand. Gamble for Brandon, that is.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what.
It doesn't matter how many cards Michael had in hand, really, because
true.
Just gambling for the life and loam is going to put it in a zone he wants, which is not in his library.
Brandon getting misty.
Yeah, so he's going to be able to deploy a Leovold here, which is pretty good. It's a way for him to get back in this game. He also could strongly consider just using this time to deploy a Crucible. I'm not sure if Michael has maybe an Ancient Grudge as part of like a Gamble and Tomb kind of package, but it seems once this Crucible is in play, Brandon could really use it to gain control of this game.
Yeah, definitely. So we see Leovold come into play. Leovold's been made famous, I think, by Redukes. True name
Sultai.
True name Bug.
Yeah.
Noble Duke. It's a pretty strong card.
It's very good.
Seeing it be played in this matchup, especially, it's a pretty strong card. So whenever you or a permanent you control is targeted by a spell or ability, you may draw a card.
Yep.
So it is a May ability. That is a thing to remember. So you can miss the trigger.
Well, you can miss it regardless of whether it's a May ability or not. But it's something you can opt not to do if you feel like you don't want to draw a card, which might be relevant with no cards in library, or something of that nature. Maybe a Tendrils of Agony. When you have very few cards left in the library, you might not want to draw all of the cards. Just enough.
Just draw to your mind break.
Just draw to your mind break trap. Yeah.
Or if they're playing Underworld Dreams, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The other relevant line of text on Leovold is your opponents can actually draw more than one card each turn.
That is super relevant, especially against something.
So
Brandon missing his first Leovold trigger on the Maze of it here.
I believe they start talking about it soon. Watching this match previously, so I've watched it before just to make sure that nothing stupid happens.
Yeah.
And they do have a discussion, and Michael does let Brandon draw a card.
Well, there you go.
He did pick it up pretty quickly after the Maze of Ith.
Fine.
But yeah, it is one of those things where you don't realize, like, Maze of Ith targeting your dude, or Wasteland, your land.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't.
Rishard and Port is just like
it's like 100 times worse.
So good, because like Wasteland, at least like they get your land. Richland Port is just like a temporary advantage a temporary disadvantage, which gives you permanent card advantage. You can see the Crucible coming down here post combat, just so Brandon would maybe potentially get that card draw off Maze of Ith and then be able to take it out with a Wasteland. But he's choosing to crack this Mystical Rainforest here, probably for a blue source, maybe for a Ponder. I'm not really 100% sure if he's playing.
Underground Sea.
It's Underground Sea? Okay.
I think so.
I'm not sure he's going to be thought seizing this scenario, as Michael has, lands in hand. Deathright Shaman. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, that's pretty good. The unfortunate thing is that Michael does have a Tabernacle. Michael learning just how insane Leovold here is, I'll kill your Deathright. It's alright. It's a card. I don't mind. Oh, and we got a Force of Will. This is just a demonstration of how insanely powerful Leovold can be.
2 standstills pitched.
Yeah,
he was
the namesake of the deck is just going to the exile.
We all know what a relatively new adoption Standstill is in Brandon's life. So he may not fully understand the power at which
there's a Miss Leovold trigger.
Yeah, I don't think he realised
that it's any ability.
Yeah,
any permanent.
Any time anything touches you or any of your friends. Also, the Wasteland here from Michael is pretty kind of random. Because it would draw a card of Leovold. And B, he just has a Crucible, so Wastelanding him not really that good.
It seems a bit out of character, you could say. Doesn't seem necessary.
I believe Michael also has a Tabernacle in his graveyard, which.
Tabernacle.
Tabernacle, yeah. Tabernacle
exactly,
at...
that's how it's pronounced.
Pendralis Vale. I know, sorry, it's the Tabernacle at Ascot Vale.
Yeah, Ascot Vale, right, yeah.
You see the Dark Depths come out.
More politically correct. Unfortunately, we don't see any ice counters on the Dark Depths, which is very disappointing. One of my favourite pastimes in Magic is just like thawing out Marit Lage. It's also interesting that Michael didn't just snap off the combo while... Brandon didn't have a Wasteland in play.
Yeah.
It seems like that would have been pretty powerful, considering there's very few ways a bug deck has to get rid of that Marilage. There's basically only Planeswalkers. Liliana and Jace are the only ways for Brandon to really get rid of a 2020 indestructible token. Now he's remembering that Leovold trigger as he's getting ghost quartered. It seems like to me the best play is to just let Wasteland hit the bin, because then you can just go to your main phase and then play it again.
Yeah.
Michael's gonna snap off the combo now. Making that 2020. I don't know what Brandon really has in his deck to deal with it. He's on 16.
Which is less than 20.
It's less than 20. Well, I was more thinking about the fact that he does have Deathright Shaman, which enables the gaining of life. However,
not enough gaining of life.
Not enough gaining of life. Maybe if he... I guess he felt like he had to get rid of that last time. Yeah, right.
And he scoops it up.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that
top
Wasteland...
deck a Jace or a Lily or something.
Yeah. Maybe just a little bit of mis-sequencing there. Just like... Maybe him having a bit more respect for the combo, and
he should know this combo well.
I think he does actually have Edict's main as well for True Name.
I think he does have Diabolic Edicts.
Yeah.
So that is another way that he can get rid of Marit Lage. But as we saw, none came into play for him as much as he drew off of Leovold and brainstormed.
Yeah.
So Leovold, what's your 10 cents on Leovold? Emissary of Trust.
It's good.
Good card.
Good.
Well said.
Certified legacy player.
Certified good.
Yeah, it's like the Chris Eddy seal of approval. It's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's very surprising, like how impactful putting kind of a Spirit of the Labyrinth stapled to a Rain Academy Chancellor. Rain Academy Chancellor is one of those cards that hasn't seen play in a very long time. Which is unfortunate, because I do like me some Academy chancelloring. But just putting it all together on one cheap creature that, 3/3 for 3. It's just like they could have made that a 2/2. They could have made it a 1/1.
Yeah.
And they just chose to just bump it up a notch. And the fact that like Michael can't kill it with Punishing Fire. The fact that it can rumble past a number of the creatures in the format. It can trade with a bunch of creatures in the format, just having that 3 power. And all for the low price of 3 mana. It's just incredibly powerful. It's definitely dominating Legacy. People who played it in Vintage. Rodrigo Tadeiras played it in his fat Snapcaster 4-color deck in the VSL play-in, featuring Splashing White for Swords to Plowshares.
Cute.
He had Torrential Gearhulk and Snapcasters in that deck. It was pretty spicy brew. It's also making waves in Highlander, Australian 7-point Highlander, as a very impactful card for the 4 to 5 color kind of mid-range decks. It's just so powerful. Even against the aggressive decks, like making all their removal spells just draw you a card.
Yeah.
And
it's slightly riskier.
Yeah.
For like,
it's just
for the the aggro players, like, do I kill the
Leovold and give you a card, but get that thing off the board, or do I kill the Tarmogoyf that's actually killing me?
Yeah.
It's like it puts them in a tough predicament, especially when you're playing a deck, and if you're playing blue, you probably are. If you're playing a deck that plays counterspells, because all of their spells have an additional line of text that says this has a higher chance to be countered because you're going to draw a card before it dies.
So Brandon's having some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I think I'd go over and help him with it in a sec.
Conspiracy 2 just like had some pretty big bombs, especially for Legacy. I mean, everybody was talking about Recruiter and Sanctum Prelate being, the big blowouts, and massive cards for Death and Taxes decks. But Leovold was just sitting there in the corner, just waiting for his time to shine.
It was really, and this is like a demonstration of just how glacially slow R&D is. The card was actually designed for the Tiny Leaders format. That cool. Craze that was about a year ago that no one plays. Yeah, they actually designed it for that format because the format didn't have a bug commander. Just like they made Arna Battle Mage legendary, eroded it to legendary for the format. It's like maybe consider what you're doing with your life in your format if you have to make up cards to make it work. But in any case, it turned out great because the card's sweet.
It's very good.
Conspiracy has been one of those sets where they've just been able to kind of up the power level in cards design, because they're not restricted by these cards have to be standard legal.
Yeah.
When they design these cards, they're only legal in Eternal formats. That's all they have to think about.
Which is really good to see coming from Wizards being predominantly an Eternal format player. I don't give two hoots about standard.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to see Conspiracy come out with cards that are gonna change up the meta, and
definitely
when Bug Landstill can come back and actually win a couple of games, it's a different time.
Just seeing the resurgence of archetypes brought on by Wizards not being afraid to print powerful cards, and you can see in this game the Molten Vortex has stuck, which is just not good for Brandon. But slamming down that Leovold,
that's pretty good.
On turn 2 is excellent for Brandon. Molten Vortex, however, is not restricted in its capacity to deal with multiple different creatures of varying toughnesses. The only thing that Michael is restricted by is the number of lands in his hand. And
looks like he has a few.
I think I see a Life Alone there as well. So if you can get that in the graveyard, you can really start chaining through. I think Death Rush Home is biting the dust here. Yeah.
Good night, sweet prince.
But he gets a card out of it, so what does he really care?
I mean, not too bad. Let's be real. Drawing cards is
pretty gas. And also, Michael is obliged to take care of that Death Rush Home immediately. Otherwise, his Life Alone a lot less impactful.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's just maybe regrowth 1 or 2 lands, and then it's gone forever.
Yeah, definitely. I think Deathrite is just... I mean, as much as Leovold is a threat, Deathrite's
Deathrite's a bigger one.
Deathrite's a bigger one.
The mini planeswalker, they call him.
Oh, yeah. Now you can see Michael has a line here of getting rid of that Leovold by pitching 2 lands. However, it's going to give Brandon 2 cards. It's just so powerful. The thing about Leovold is it takes so many... sometimes it takes a lot of resources to defeat.
Yeah.
And in that kind of exchange of resources, your opponent could just draw another one. That's one of the most frustrating things about Leovold in non-singleton formats, is that because it's legendary, you can only have 1 in play, but that's okay, because once your opponent spends the resources to deal with the first one, it's just going to draw
Just
again.
deploy, just draw a couple of cards, deploy another one, have fun, sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, and Michael, lands being a sort of combo, you know, with life combo.
Heavily synergy-based archetype.
Yeah. It lowers his ability to, I think, go off essentially and continuously loam if he has to continuously get rid of a Leovold in, you know, because it's attacking him because he doesn't have any other creatures on the board, and you know, having Brandon draw a couple of cards each turn or a card, you know, it's dangerous because he is also, you know, he does have counter magic. So if Michael goes to play a loam, it could be countered. Then, you know, if he has a Deathrite on board, you can just be eating things. It does get harder for Michael to deal with, and Michael certified Leovold as a good card after this match. Yeah.
Also the thing, I like how Michael's playing this, like, in terms of just trying to overload Brandon with cards. The thing about drawing a bunch of cards is that it doesn't actually matter if at end of turn you discard like two to 3 of them. And that's one of the key strategies you see here with Standstill. Often people will just wait out a Standstill, and if they're in a position where they want to crack it, they'll often wait until their opponent has 7 cards in hand and do it in the end step, so their opponent has to discard 3 of the cards they're drawn. So it really turns the Ancestral Recall into just a draw 3, discard 3.
So we see that Brandon's Surgical Wasteland.
Yeah, he's not interested in having his lands destroyed. However, it seems he is interested in having a Marit Lage come.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. There's a Thespian stage in the graveyard. Surely, I mean, it depends on the line that the bug lands
in
still.
the graveyard as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that Brandon's thought here is, my Deathrite Shaman is going to die. I only really have 1 to 2 mana sources left in play, and I need those resources to be able to. Oh man. The Snapcaster Mage is definitely why we're seeing this line. Okay. Just being able to make Michael think that my opponent's Surgical Wasteland, but he's forgotten about the combo. Just being able to flush in that Snapcaster as a threat that now can't be hit by Molten Vortex, so he's able to get in those cheeky 2 points of damage, maybe 4 with a Factory, and now he doesn't have to worry about having his mana base attacked through Wasteland. He also doesn't have to worry about any kind of Dark Depths nonsense.
So at least you did get it in the end. That's good.
It's interesting. There's an argument here about which piece to actually extract.
Yeah.
Considering how Brandon's deck plays Wasteland and how this match is shaping up.
There's almost an argument for Thespian stage.
Yeah, because I think maybe the reason could be there's already a Thespian stage in play, so he's theoretically getting the most advantage by taking Dark Depths because it removes the most copies of the card. However, Michael being able to the Thespian stage, Brandon's Mistress Factories, maybe his own Glacial Chasm, is very powerful.
And in previous games Brandon's played where he played at the blue-black Depth Still.
Yep.
He used Thespian Stage to his advantage in copying his opponent's Mistress Factory and...
Yeah, he beat Chris on Pops,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because he beat down with one of Chris's own cards, essentially.
Now, you see Caracas going to the bin there. Caracas is historically a great answer to legendary creatures. How with Leovold?
Less good.
Less good. You end up just kind of giving your opponent a card. I mean...
You stop the attack coming in?
Well, you stop the attack coming in. It's also important to note that you also are able to bounce Leovold, then kill something else, so you're kind of getting to mitigate its ability.
Yeah.
But
I think that's what we're going to see here as well.
As long as Brandon can keep hitting those land drops, he's going to be able to deploy Leovold and pressure Michael at the same time through the use of Mistress Factory. He's just got to be consistent with his land drops here and keep up his resources. I think we're maybe seeing a brainstorm here from Brandon. I can see that he does have quite a few lands in hand, which is actually to his benefit. Yeah, I think we're just going to see Leovold and swing with the factory. Just keep the pressure on. Put that Leovold back into play so Michael feels obliged to return it to your hand and give you another card.
Just keep that card advantage going.
Yeah. Life Alone Molten Vortex is a pretty quick clock though. With Brandon on 13, it is stifled by the fact that Michael only has 2 red sources. But could get pretty hazy here for Brandon. As Michael's able to just continuously throw lands at his head.
I think a timely draw would be Abrupt Decay for the Vortex.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that's one of the big reasons to play green in Landstill now. Besides Leovold, is just Abrupt Decay on that. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Ah, hello.
It's just what the doctor ordered.
Draw a card.
Man.
Yeah, I think Brandon's seen the line, but so is Michael in...
Yep.
He's just going to
as
four
much
to
damage
the
as possible.
face.
Four to the
like,
face, get you a 9. Maybe I can draw another Vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough now because he was in a situation where all he wanted to do for the rest of the game is just dredge that life in the loam, and now he's going to have to actually make decisions about whether he wants his draw step back.
Yeah.
Which is always a savage, unfortunate thing to have to consider whether you actually want to draw a card or if you're just going to sit there putting lands into your graveyard for the rest of the game.
My favourite game against lands was this night, I think, potentially. James O'Rourke. It was in our league match. Game 1, he beat me with, big 2020. Game 2, he forgot to side in Crows and Grips for my rest in peace.
Oh, no.
So he conceded straight up. Game 3, it was just like the longest game, and because they're not timed, our league matches, it went for probably over an hour, and I just ended up milling him because I had answers to his Marit Lage, like whether it be Sword Plowshares or Flicker Wisps, and he just dredged so much that he ended up having 7 cards in his library, and he just didn't have enough turns to get there to take the counters off Dark Depths, and because I had Pithing Needled his Thespian Stage as well, so it's just like slowly cutting him off. So I've never milled anyone out being on Death and Taxes. Yeah. So it was a really fun experience. Yeah. It's achievement.
Ground him into the ground. That's what it's about.
But lands is fun, I think. As a deck itself, I don't mind the look of it. I'd probably play it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
If I wanted to just try out something totally different, sort of.
Yeah, it's definitely changed a lot in the years that I've known Legacy. Used to be a while ago more kind of Chalice of the Void field and engineered explosives, that kind of thing, whereas now it's very much kind of either red green or sometimes they put the black in for Entombs and Lilianas, that kind of thing. Abrupt Decay. But yeah, this iteration that Michael's playing is just purely red green. You see Barbarian Rain hitting the graveyard there. We've definitely got Threshold there.
Yeah.
Exactly though. So if he does choose to loam,
He will no longer have threshold.
Well, he will
Just
have
take
threshold if he just
Yeah.
takes the Barbarian Ring.
Oh, well, I guess he can dredge for 3, so that's fine.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to have future access to threshold. Brandon, I think is that Death Threat Shaman active? What happened last turn? Lifeline was cast last turn, right?
Yeah, I believe
so that
so.
Death Threat Shaman is active. So he did have the option of potentially taking that Barbarian Ring, which I think honestly he probably should have taken.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
otherwise Death Threat Shaman's just going to die.
He probably just wanted to get rid of the loam.
Yeah.
Maybe he can
just keep it off threshold.
Keep off threshold the entire game. Yeah, Michael does have a first line in hand.
That's another line.
Seems
Keep
fine.
him off threshold. But Barbarian Ring is...
It seems like such an awkward place of tension to put yourself in.
Yeah.
It's like I can't let my opponent have 7 cards in their graveyard
Or
ever.
just get rid of the threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise they just kill my guy. Death Threat Shaman is actually, in combination with Mistress Factory, a pretty quick clock here.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
It's so he goes to 5, takes to 3, goes to 1. Yeah, it's like a 3-turn clock. If Michael taps that Barbarian Ring or cracks a fetch, it's a 2-turn clock.
No, he doesn't want to play
Doesn't
that
want to play the
top
top hit.
Not interested in top hit.
I feel like
No,
he wants to play the
top
top hit.
Surely you want to play the top hit and just get some unblockable damage in.
Oh yeah. I would definitely be deploying top hit here.
I think
Maybe
he's
it's
Leovold.
just there, slaying that Leovold.
Leovold.
That's fair.
So,
I mean,
like,
Leovold, like...
Also swings for 3, so it's fine.
well, it doesn't actually attack because of Caracas, which
true.
is unfortunate. Yeah, getting that other life and limb out of there. See you later, buddy.
Sweet
Yeah.
dreams. Life from the loam. And Caracas.
Free draw.
But I don't think he drew a card off that
It seems
Caracas.
Michael's a bit flooded
did.
here.
I appreciate
Just
it.
lands in hand, you know? It's just a bit unfortunate for him, just drawing so many lands, like, you know?
Oh, that's what you want.
I mean,
Just one of those things.
he
He does have a
accidentally-
Mazavith, which I guess Ghost Quartering the Mistress Factory is a much more permanent answer to
Wait, Brandon
Oh.
says. Brandon says. Hold
oh
on.
yes,
Yeah.
getting that sweet shuffle off your opponent's Ghost Quarter. That's a choice line. Being able to be like, I'm going to shuffle my deck, so I'm going to use Brainstorm to just put 2 of these garbage cards back in the deck. You can even put, I think maybe he had a basic island in hand. He would be able to put that island back in the deck and find it. Oh no, he must have played it. No more basics left. It's good information for Michael. He knows that future Ghost Quarters are just literal strip mine.
Pretty good.
Pretty
yeah,
good.
Brandon's been known to like just hate basic lands, so it's fine. Playing 3-color decks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are
I don't
you?
know about
It's
it.
just a classic.
What's a forest anyway? Forests are for garbage individuals who
You only ever need 2
don't
basics.
have a respect for the integrity of the game. So's Michael. Leovold coming down here again. This is going to be a common theme for the maybe 2 to 3 turns left in this game. Just Brandon deploying a Leovold every turn and Michael bouncing it back to the hand and Brandon drawing a card. There's actually no targets left
Oh no.
for
He's got a
Brandon to
block
exile.
decay in his...
Well, there's no targets left in Michael's
That's
graveyard,
true.
so he might be able to get that precious threshold he's been trying to achieve.
Yeah, I think he just.
we can just eat the lands, I guess.
I think he just wants to probably keep Michael off threshold at this
Yeah.
point in time.
I think that not using Death Threat Shaman there is probably fine.
Yeah.
You just want to have the flexibility of, do I need to exile this Ghost Quarter? Something of that nature. Oh, the Punishing Fire. Oh,
He's been
Man.
punished.
he is being punished. I think we're going to see a counter spell. Wow.
Spell has been counted.
And the Grove coming down from Michael saying, well, let's do the Time Walk again. I'm interested in that Death Threat Shaman being dead. Oh,
Another
And
surgical.
here we go.
surgical, yeah. Taking out that Punishing Fire in response to the activation.
And he got a life out of it. You know, that's
Yeah, he did get a life
know,
out of
and
it.
You know, makes
maybe-
surgical slightly better.
Yeah, maybe just using Death Threat Shaman there to exile it would have been done the same thing. It also, but I guess having the flexibility of keeping that Death Threat Shaman up and using no mana for that surgical is pretty valuable as well. Unfortunately, Death Threat Shaman does get around Glacial Chasm, so Michael's definitely not safe.
No.
He's not in a good position. I think he is actually just DOB.
Yeah, I think he is dead on board.
Yeah, with that Death Right Shaman activation, putting him to 3 and then to 1, and the Caribbean Tarpek coming across to put him in the negatives.
Yeah, we'll see. Michael go down to 3. And yeah, I think
Does he have the
this
top
is it.
on board now, or is it still in his
I think he does. But unfortunately, our glare. If anybody has any suggestions for fixing our glare issues, hit me up, please.
Well, I mean, if you
There's a
observe
Tarpek
Michael's
there.
side,
it's fine.
it's fine.
It's weird windows and lights in the
Yeah,
store,
yeah.
and it's just something that we haven't accommodated for necessarily.
Those fluorescent lights sometimes can be a bit of a
The
hindrance.
bane of my
Start to play in the
existence.
dark.
Yeah,
like
maybe
Magic
we
players.
just need to put up a couple of like kind of shields around the work out our own lighting
Some sort of
setup,
diffuser.
or use one of the back rooms.
Yeah,
Well,
we'll
that's
have a
the
look for the next lot of videos. See if we can make that glare a little bit, less visible, because it's getting worse.
Yeah,
And no matter where I move the table to, I just give up eventually.
yeah,
Just trying to fix it, because
Yeah.
otherwise you move it and it gets bad on Michael's side, and it's good on the other side. There's no winning situation.
yeah.
But we saw Brandon take out game 2 there, so now it's tied up.
It's a very
Yeah,
long
you can see
match.
Michael just admiring all the cards that were exiled from his deck this game. 4 Wasteland, 4 Dark Depths, 2 Life and Loams, the 3 Punishing Fires, all gone.
It's a pretty solid exile par.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like it.
Brandon definitely did his best to kind of one up you and mill out Michael, but apparently, unfortunately for him, Death Right Shaman managed to kind of seal the game.
I think Brandon played that game pretty well. Like
Yeah.
he's obviously played against the lands matchup before, and he knows how it operates, so he knows what to keep certain cards for.
He's also very familiar with kind of the Thespian Stage combo as a kind of as a unit. So he's familiar with the machinations of how it works against and the tension against Wastelands in play, and that experience definitely helps you get an advantage and get an edge in this matchup.
For sure. And Brando is, I think one of his first decks that he played was like a Bug Landstill type deck in Legacy, and he was known as Brandon Bug Owen because he would only play bug colors.
Still does.
Still does.
And he just can't escape those roots, so he goes back to them.
Can't escape the standstill roots.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Standstill is his main reason for playing
Any magic.
any magic. I think. So if you have any stupid Standstill cards, send them to us so we can overload Brandon with Standstills. Yeah.
Yeah.
So match 3.
Match 3, and this is a very long match.
This is. I mean, lands
Lands
can go quickly, but
I see
generally
Michael citing in Sphere of Resistance.
Mm.
He just is not interested in Brandon being efficient. Usually, I think the spheres are on the board for kind of the ritual-based or acceleration-based combo decks. Maybe the Black Red Reanimator kind of style decks to slow them down. But he feels like putting a sphere in play might, if he gets an early Wasteland kind of going on and like maybe takes out a Death Right Charm, the sphere can kind of put Brandon in a position where he's unable to function as efficiently as he might want.
it'd definitely hinder him to an extent if it does land.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not necessarily the hardest card to get rid of. But paired with like if there's a Molten Vortex on the table as well, it can get overwhelming for Brandon.
It's just kind of annoying. It's not crucial to any kind of strategy, but it is annoying for Brendan to have to pay an additional one full of spells, and Michael just doesn't care about that. He's only interested in casting Life and Loam, and it doesn't really matter if Life and Loam costs 2 or 3. He's going to do it every turn. And the fact that it ensures you have land drops every turn as well kind of mitigates the disadvantage from having a sphere in play.
Yeah, and I lost my train of thought. I had it there.
You had it there?
I had it there.
Not today.
No.
Well, Michael's starting off
ago.
pretty strong with a Mox Diamond, just getting a bit of acceleration in play. Not doing anything with it though. Maybe he has a...
Just showing he has it.
Yeah, just like,
Hey,
it's
look
important to...
Hey, look at my Mox
guys.
Diamond.
Yeah, it's important to let your opponent know that, like, I'm going to have 3 mana on turn 2. And
Just make him think,
nothing
you can play your turn 1 Death Rot and I'll Punishing Fire it straight away.
We've got the crop rotation
Crop rotation.
coming in. So that's going to get forcibled. And that always feels rough. That feels super tough.
Yeah, that's a bit of a beating.
It's what we in the business called a 2-4-1. See, Michael lost 2 cards, and Brandon also lost 2 cards. So it's a 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
But I think it's
historically when you count a crop rotation, as long as it's not with a forcible.
I think it's slightly more, to Brandon's advantage.
For
countering that crop rotation.
Oh yeah.
Because I believe.
Oh, we have the one vortex that got to resolve though. That's not good for Brandon. That's not good.
Less good.
Thoughtseize?
Question
A
mark?
bit late.
Yeah, maybe not. Thoughtseize me. I lose 2 life. Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah.
So,
that Molten
0
Vortex
for 1?
just kind of sitting in play. Well, it's pretty obvious what Brandon drew for his turn, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slightly underwhelming for
Oh,
Brandon.
we can also see another forcible in Brandon's hand, which is pretty unfortunate considering that Molten Vortex is sitting in play. And that would lead me to believe, considering he drew the Thoughtseize this turn, he has no other blue cards in hand. No. Exploration, Wasteland. Alright, well, this match has turned pretty anemic pretty quickly as Michael has nothing left. Brandon, however, still hitting those land drops.
Yep.
Don't worry about it, buddy. Yeah, you can see Michael here. I think he's drawn a crop rotation from that little Mox Diamond touch there. Any other spell he would have slammed, but he's not interested in sacking his Thespian stage to go get something. I mean, like he could theoretically get a Dark Depths, and then it's
hope you get a loan.
Less good.
You just if only you had a Bizarre Baghdad to go there, that would be an ideal.
That'd be pretty good.
Ideal fetch up here.
Good thing
Get some
that Bizarre is not allowed.
Yeah, I mean it's really the lands deck that keeps it from being legal, not the dredge applications.
Nothing at all. Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely not dredge. Well, you can see him landing here with a Wood of Foothills, which does give him the mana necessary to turn that Thespian stage into a Maritalage.
Yeah.
Just gotta rip it off the top.
Yeah, well, he's got a
Easy.
crop rotation hand, so if he can rip
He's
any
fine.
land, he can turn that land into a Maritalage, and I don't know how many instant speed answers Brandon has. I think he has 2 fetch lands and a swamp in play, so
He can.
He can Diabolic Edict, as we previously discussed. Michael has no idea.
Go straight for the Dark Depths. No.
Michael has no idea.
Indecisive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Taker or Dark Depths.
Ooh.
It's hard.
So he's getting a Tager, sacking the Tager for Dark Depths.
To crop rotate for a dark. Yep, sure.
Yep.
Yep.
He still needs another mana though, in order to actually activate.
So this is end of.
End of turn.
End of turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a weird kind of sequencing here from Michael. I'm not really 100% sold on this line, considering he needs to get another land in order to be able to. Oh no, he's just got another Mox Diamond. No worries about it.
Useful.
No.
There we go.
I guess sometimes you never didn't have it. This matchup might be going south for Brandon pretty quickly. I don't know what unless he has a Diabolical Edict.
That would be.
This could end poorly for him. Diabolic Edict plus a Surgical could really spell like game over for Michael here as well. And Brandon's very advantaged because he just said Michael has no idea about Diabolic Edict being a card.
I think
Was that an edict?
I think I saw an edict in his hand.
I saw some kind of weird looking black spell.
with a yellow
I
text.
think he also has a surgical in hand too, potentially.
Oh yeah, I definitely can see a Surgical there on the very bottom hand side of the screen. Oh yes, the Brainstorm Shuffle. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about.
And Brainstorm. Bad card. Yeah, horrible.
I think we're going to see.
Horrible
I think he's
forehand.
going to Abrupticate here. I think we're going to Abrupticate this Molten Vortex. Are we? Oh yeah.
No?
No?
I think it's time for a Mox Diamond.
Interesting. So he wants Michael to feel like
force him
he's
to create,
obliged to make a 2020. And Michael's going to oblige him.
And now it's a 1/1.
Yep, it's a dice.
Now he has just 1 mana left. Brandon's going to be able to fire off that Edict, I believe. And
I assume he'll wait.
Yeah, I mean, you probably just hold up, right?
yeah. I mean,
There's no reason not to cast it, but you know.
You don't want.
That's an attacking.
That's an attacking dice. Tap the dice.
Yeah,
That square dice.
really getting in there.
Edict, yeah.
Edict's coming.
Pretty solid.
And now Michael is in an atrocious position.
And a surgical.
And
The surgical comes in,
That was
taking
a
out all of the dark.
Big swing in favour of Brandon.
Oh yeah. I'm not too sold on immediately surgicaling because duck depths aren't actually good draws for Michael at this point.
No.
However, I guess you want to mitigate the fact that he could draw exactly dark depths and exactly Thespian stage.
Just put him on tilt enough that he just concedes.
Yeah. I think I like exiling Thespian stage here as a land that taps for mana.
That's true. Yeah.
And you've already made it clear that stunting Michael's mana growth is something you're interested in by decaying that.
Mr. Caracas.
Oh my
Of course, he
God.
pulls Caracas off top.
I guess I'll just play my
Back to this game.
3 mana, draw a card.
This is just like a spoon
It's
fight.
just he's just turned Leovold into a merchant of secrets. So that's all he is.
Leovold.
There we go.
Yep.
Yep.
This is cute.
Yeah.
Such interactive games of Magic.
Oh,
No, it is.
Wasteland.
It's pretty
remember
good.
the trigger?
Not
Remember the trigger.
not interested in drawing a card off that Wasteland. Only interested in drawing off Caracas.
I might see if I can get a little counter of how many times Brandon missed Leovold trigger.
You know, Brandon's not about card advantage, so you know.
No,
Yeah.
he hates it. That's why
He
he
hates
that's
it.
why he plays blue, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
He hates card advantage.
That's why he plays standstill.
Leovold coming down again.
So he only plays 2 Leovolds in his deck list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
probably
definitely
all
a
you
And
concession.
I think he has a third in the board potentially.
Yeah, I think he's gone back and forth on the third
Yeah,
board.
Alright.
he doesn't have a definitive list. And by that I mean he messaged it to me and said it's missing 8 cards.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thanks.
Well, we can see the surgical coming here, taking out
Wasteland.
the Wasteland. You can see an interesting sideboard from Michael. I believe we saw a Bajuka Bog coming in. I guess he valued maybe crop rotating in response to a Snapcaster or being able to remove a little bit of advantage that could be gained through Crucible so that his Wasteland strategy could be more successful. But, it's tough here. Ooh, the gamble. Gamble is quite good. Quite a good draw here. Enable him to have access to that Life in the Loam, which will in turn give him access to all the lands in his graveyard, as well as turning on that Mox Diamond in his hand. So Gamble is a very, very strong draw, as well as the fact that it turns on his Molten Vortex.
And there it is in the graveyard.
Which isn't too much of a concern.
No.
No.
For anyone,
Well,
really.
if Brandon has another Surgical, then this game is pretty much just over. Or a Snapcaster Mage. I think I might have seen a Snapcaster there.
Yeah, it's not cast surgical. Seen it
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
We'll see it again.
Nope. I rocked
Oh no.
it.
Okay. Unless he just. How many surgicals has he played this game?
He's played 2. So he's Surgical the Waste and Surgical the Dark Depths.
Yeah.
So I believe he
Yeah.
would have
I
to
think
have a
this is-
Snapcaster.
there
Yeah.
we go.
Yes. Alright, well, Snapcastering and hitting the Life of Loam is pretty much the
That's GG, right?
Yeah. It's so tough for Michael to come back here with no way to get card advantage. His Molten Vortex is dead. Now there's a Snapcaster Mage in play, which is also actually going to put pressure on his life total. He's not going to be able to bounce that with Caracas.
Brandon also decides not to look at Michael's hand from the surgical.
I think he
He
knows
knew
that it's
there
a
was
Mox.
a Mox Diamond.
yeah.
Just throwing away a land, trying to get another card. Mazy Vic is pretty good.
Yeah.
But with Leovold, it could be awkward. I guess he can just bounce Leovold and then...
Oh, I think we're in
maze the Snapcaster.
turns.
Yeah, we're on turns now.
Oh,
So
boy.
it's turn
It was a
3.
long
I don't know
match.
when that happened.
Jesus.
So
Not played
Brandon
well.
just deals the turns dice for Jace. That's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Good on you, Brando.
Yeah.
I don't think he realised that they were in turns.
Well, it
think-
looks like this game is definitely a draw then.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
definitely a draw.
Unless Michael feels like he's obliged to concede, considering he has pretty much no way to win this game. He did find another Molten Vortex, which is good news, but without the Life of the Loam just being able to recoup a lot of land, in
Yeah.
hand,
It's just kind of useless.
it's just not really going to get the job done.
Less good. Definitely less good.
And with that Jason play, it gives Brandon a way to like win the game without actually having to use the combat phase, which is kind of shut off at the moment with Maze and Caracas.
Maze and Caracas, yeah.
Mm.
But I think
that's it.
I think that's
Yeah.
game. Like
Players just kind of playing things out for
plays Leovold,
Caracas, the Leovold, Maze of Ith, the Snow Coaster,
Draw 2.
fetch.
Fetch,
Sure.
so like
Okay.
you shuffle.
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
I don't want that island for the 0 turns left.
It's important to play tight in those final seconds of the game.
Fetching
the Snow Coaster
in
getting
response to
mazed.
the Leovold trigger is pretty cool.
Deathroad Shaman.
And that's it.
Make him concede, but I don't know if he knows or not.
I think they ended up just drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's game 1. It's
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, it's pretty casual legacy. You know, I mean, draws are less
Draws
good.
are fine.
Yeah.
But I don't think either player cared too much about getting the win on the draw there. But I think Brandon had that have gone on.
Yeah, he
Brandon
definitely had it way out of control.
But
There's no way Michael could pull ahead. Or the life line was gone. The combo was gone. He couldn't even maybe stifle Brandon's mana base. He might have also even had less cards in deck.
So Brandon bought in 2 surgicals, an edict, an abrupt
Another
decay,
Leovold.
is it abrupt decay?
Yeah.
Abrupt decay and another
Leovold.
Leovold,
Yeah.
and took out cards, probably
Toxic
fatal
Deluge.
pushes.
Oh no, that's the rest of his sideboard, I think.
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's the sideboard.
I
No,
would
she keep in the
expect.
sideboard.
I would expect
Nice.
all of Brandon's fatal pushes to be taken out in
Yeah.
this matchup. That's for sure.
It's a
Yeah.
hell of a card.
Literal no targets. So you're putting out Standstill, some spell pierces.
That must have been tough for him.
Yeah.
Putting out Standstill.
It's a
It
hard.
always,
It's a
always
hard.
feels,
Yeah.
It's like, oh, man, I owe this card so much because it's drawn me 3 cards at least once, presumably.
If you like side out the like namesake for half of your deck, it just never feels good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're definitely left with a bad taste in your mouth.
Yeah, so that was our first matchup. Ended in a draw, which I don't think we've seen yet.
No,
Exciting!
Whoa, that was really loud. Yeah, so Bug Landstill and Lands. I'm sure we'll see more Bug Landstill happening around. I think Brandon really wants to fine tune the deck and get it nice and competitive.
He's definitely excited about pushing things off of rooftops.
Yeah, hence why I have decided to stop playing Death and Taxes for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time for Death and Taxes and I to break up. So.
No.
I know you guys have had a pretty good relationship, and I just want you to know that just because it's coming to an end doesn't mean the relationship wasn't a success.
Oh, thank you.
And
That means a lot to me and to the deck.
I'm sure the deck will always be here for you in the future.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Alrighty, next match, guys.
Alright, yep.
I want